3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, Ben here with a quick little snippet at the beginning. I just wanted to try something new here, and for starters, this episode, Jonathan and I are actually really sick. I think Jonathan gave it to me. I'm calling him out on it right now, but no. With all jokes aside, I went to the doctors. They think I had pneumonia. They gave me some meds, even an inhaler. So I am working on getting better, and next week's podcast should sound a lot better on both our sides, considering we should be over that sickness. So I just wanted to kind of prep you guys for that now, so that way you guys aren't just getting blindsided by that. We do talk a little bit about the sickness, but there's a lot of motivating talk in this podcast, including showing up even when we are sick, right? Showing up for this podcast and still filming it and still providing this for you guys week after week, that type of stuff. So we talk a lot about that. There's also a lot of information about Jonathan and I's first season together, some like behind the scenes type of stuff where we talk about some issues we had with equipment and some mental issues that we had when it came to like showing up every day, and just kind of how to fight through that. So there's a lot of motivating stuff in this podcast. I hope you guys enjoy it. And I just wanted to kind of pre-up that video there, that talk now, right, on what it's like, or what to expect from this podcast. I hope you guys enjoy that. If you guys are curious, or if you're wanting to skip certain snippets, there are timestamps down below in both the description, but also in like the video, you'll see the timestamp. So if you wanted to jump to a particular moment or part, or if you wanted to skip something, you're more than welcome to. I encourage you guys to check those out and join the conversation down below. We want to hear more from you guys. Let us know what your favorite part was. With all that being said, let's jump into episode 40.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Buckhouse podcast. I'm Johnathan Buckhouse, one of your hosts, and this is Benjamin Buckhouse, your other host. We're two brothers. They get together once a week, and we just talk all things life, whether that's family stuff, business, YouTube, content, video games. It's what we do. And this week, it's going to be not a unique one, but it's going to be definitely different because I am at the tail end of a 9-day sickness that's been going through my household, and somehow Ben, who lives 2.5 hours away from me, has captured that sickness. So, bro, how you feeling?
I am on the up right now. I may not sound like it, but I promise I am on the up. I got sick on Friday. Today is Thursday, so I'm almost on a 7-day sickness, and the last like 6 days or whatever have been very miserable, very, very, very miserable. So I'm on the up. I'm feeling a lot better. I have done nothing but lay down and drink a bunch of fluids and try to eat a good amount of food to stay energized. But no, I have done nothing pretty much for the last 6 days, and I hate being sick. I know everyone does. It's that time of the year though. My boss and I were making jokes about it. She was like, it's the time of the year for sharing, right? For Christmas time, it's the time of the year to share stuff, including sicknesses, because that's exactly what happened.
So, obviously, we're children. So, are you not allowed to go to school, to work, whatever?
So they haven't necessarily sent me home. I did call out 2 days, but because it's been the holiday time, I've had like the weekend and then New Year's Day off and stuff. But I have called off of work twice. But when I go into work, I wear a mask. Just because I don't want to spread it to my colleagues. I don't want to spread it to the kids or anything like that. I'm starting to think that potentially me working with the kids is what's getting me sick, as in like everyone knows that daycares or schools are just full of germs and they spread sicknesses very quickly. And I've never worked in an environment like that. So I think that maybe my immune system was just not prepared for this. So maybe that's why I'm getting sick. But also I've been seeing a lot of family, including kids, like Jonathan. We saw him, before Christmas and things like that. I don't know if I've got the same thing Jonathan has. I really don't, but it's more so, like that could have been the case, or spending time with my other nieces and nephews and my siblings and stuff. So who knows what got me. I did test for COVID twice and they both came up negative. So it's not that, at least that's what, unless I got 2 false negatives, but I don't know. I hate getting sick. But it is what it is.
I think you got it from us because Christmas Eve is when we all got together, which was basically 10 days ago. And Roman was like complaining about his ear hurting. And like, he was like, I don't feel that good. And then he's been sick ever since. And that kind of like messed up our Christmas too. I didn't get to say that in the Christmas episode, but like, it was kind of a downer on Christmas because both Roman and Bristol had like runny noses and were coughing, and like we just didn't feel 100% on Christmas, which kind of made it hard to be like enjoy all the Christmassy things and stuff. So more than likely, you probably got it from Roman. Sorry, bro.
It is what it is. That's part of life. It happens. Did so I've been hit in like waves, as in the first day I was sick, it was like almost only body aches. I could barely get out of bed. I was in so much pain. And then it kind of was like a head cold after that. And then my throat was bothering me. And then I wake up on Tuesday when we were going to podcast. Johnathan and I actually have had to postpone this podcast already because of our sickness. So sorry that we're still sick, guys, but we have to get this podcast done. But
I was like, we tried to delay it.
Yeah, we tried to delay it once already, but on Tuesday I woke up and I was so congested. I could not breathe at all. And when I was blowing my nose, the congestion was messing up in my ear, and like it felt like I had an ear infection, which ear infections are like my biggest fear in my life, I would say. Like I hate that. I don't even know how to explain my hatred for them. They bother me so much. It bothers me so much. And so it's the congestion was bothering me that much, that it was messing with my ear to the point where I thought I had an ear infection. So I went from like body aches to a head cold to my throat bothering me to congestion to an ear infection. Like I don't know what I have at this point. I've got everything.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is day 9 of me still not feeling 100%. And even today I woke up and I'm like, my throat hurt really bad. Like the side of my head is like achy. I couldn't chew. It felt like my jaw locked up last night because of it. And like when you get sick, it really makes you miss and appreciate how feeling normal feels good. Like how good feeling normal feels, if that makes sense. And how long you feel normal. But I hate being sick.
I've seen these memes where it's like, takes it to where you get sick, congestion, and everything, where you realize how great it is just to breathe on a day-to-day basis. And it's like, yeah, that's so true. And so at my job, there's this set of stairs that kicks everyone's butt. I don't know why. It's just I don't know. It's not like a normal flight of stairs, but it's, hey Shadow. It's like 2 flights of stairs that you have to go down to go up and down this building. And it just like people go up and down it and they're like, I am exhausted just from going up and down those stairs. May not be in the best shape, but it is what it is. But whenever I'm sick, those stairs do kick my butt, especially because I'm wearing a mask and I forget how hard it is to breathe with a mask on. So I'm going up and down these stairs. I can already not breathe that great just sitting, and then I've got the mask on, and then I'm like, by the time I get up the stairs, I'm like, and it's tough.
Yeah. Thankfully, like living up at high altitude, because we live at 9,000 feet, like that doesn't, I don't ever feel that when we get sick. But I will say, because Roman and Bristol got the sickness, somehow Bobby's escaped it, which is the worst. Honestly, I'd rather her be sick right now because I know exactly what's going to happen. Is she's going to get sick right when we're past it. But so Roman and Bristol get sick, so they didn't sleep good through the night at all. So they were waking up 4 to 5 times in the middle of the night. And of course, they're getting body aches and sweats and chills and snots and all kinds of stuff. And so they're like, Dad, lay with me, this and that. So I'm like, just like stewing in Roman sickness and stewing in Bristol sickness, and like this has been my least favorite sickness in a very long time.
No, I know what you mean, because Kirsty's escaped the sickness, which I'm very thankful for, which we in times like this, like I try to keep my distance from her, and then we also sanitize as much as possible. So it's not fun to be for me to be sick and her not to be. But I wouldn't wish this upon her. So I'm happy that she's been able to avoid it.
I'm definitely wishing it upon Bobby. I'm joking. How dare she get away with not?
One thing that we're thinking it might be is potentially the flu, because Kirsty got a flu shot this year and I didn't, and she hasn't caught it. So we're like, maybe it's the flu. But I don't know. That's the worst thing about sicknesses, is that so many of them are so similar to each other that it's like, who knows what you have at this point.
Well, the crazy thing is how you can see it go around. So like, we're not. I know 3 other friends that have the sickness right now, and it's like, oh wow, and I haven't even seen you, but like it's going around up here. I mean, we live in such a small county, that it hits everybody. Like everyone's using the same gym, everyone's going to the same grocery store, so like, it hits everyone.
It's just fascinating. I don't know. It's fascinating how like there's a patient 0, like the first one to get the sickness, and then it just like multiplies so fast. But that's what happens, and that's.
I mean, it was crazy to see how at the very beginning of COVID, how that was. It literally felt like living in a video game.
It really was. COVID was wild, and COVID was like one of the first examples of like a viral, like a new viral sickness that just like took over the world that we've seen. And yeah, it was very fascinating to see.
You can't stop it.
Yeah. I remember being in America, not say I wasn't like, we're gonna be safe, we're gonna be fine, everything's gonna be fine, we're not gonna get that. But
remember
it was like,
being in America? Have you ever not been in America?
Okay, thanks, bro. I meant like I remember dang, bro. Yeah, that's right, cough. I remember being an American when the news was happening, and it started in China. So being like in America, you're sitting there watching it, and it's not that I was thinking that we're not going to get this COVID virus over here or anything like that, but it was just like, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? And all of a sudden it was like, all right, there's cases in Washington. And then after there was cases.
Yeah.
Then when there was cases in Washington, then Oregon, then California, and then all of a sudden it was like, all right, the entire United States is sick. And I was like, what just happened? It was crazy.
Imagine being patient number 1 though in America. Come on, that had to be some good press.
Just imagine being patient number 1, dude. That's got to be like the scariest thing in the world. Like, I don't know. Like, you're the guy that got everyone sick.
Keep my mouth shut. So moving on from sick talk, because obviously we just kind of dominated that first half of this podcast, but we've set the stage. The other thing that's going on is welcome to 2025, guys. What are we, episode 40 or 37, 30, 40? What were we on? 39?
They're on episode 40, going into the new year, episode 40.
Yeah, dude. 40 episodes deep. We're starting off 2025 completely sick. And I don't know about you, but this is the year that I'm taking my life back, as weird as that sounds. Because personally, I'm not going to go too into detail, but 2024 sucked for me. I mean, it still was awesome and a lot of really rad things happened. And if that's a bad year, I'll take 2. But man, I went through some crap in 2024 that I'm happy is past me. And the worst part is sometimes crap is put onto you and it's not your fault. And it's your responsibility just to deal with it, even though you did nothing wrong. And so I'm really excited to have a clear head in 2025. I'm really excited for a clean slate in 2025. And I went over all my finances for 2024 last year, and Did okay. I mean, I did great compared to some people. I did okay compared to where I want to be mentally, financially, and whatnot. And it's one of those things where instead of like blaming situations, like 2025, I'm putting my head down and I'm gonna do extra to get back to where I want to be.
I love it, bro. 2025 is a year for Kirsty and I to lock in. That's the phrase I'm going with this year, is lock in.
2025, lock in. I like it. I might put that on my big calendar, bro. I don't know if you saw that. I got a massive full year calendar. I'll send you a photo so you can throw it on the screen.
Dude, I've been seeing those and I want one.
I'll buy you one.
Okay, I'm down. This is the year Kirsty and I are going to lock in. That's the exact phrase that we're going with this year. We've set some kind of goals, I guess you could say. Once again, we're not necessarily New Year's resolution people, but just like we're gonna lock in, we're gonna get stuff done. Kirsty and I are gonna do 75 hard starting January 7th, which is in 5 days, and I am excited for it, but I'm just like,
especially after the sickness.
I'm just like, I better be done with the sickness by then.
It'll help you get out of it if you're not, if that makes sense. That last stretch of like forcing yourself outside, forcing yourself to do things will kind of eliminate and distract you from the very tail end of the sickness.
What I'm worried about is I need to rest. As in yesterday, I was going to go to the gym, but I was like, I was feeling good enough to where it's like I could go to the gym, but I'm also like struggling to breathe while I'm just sitting on the couch, and I'm like, I shouldn't go to the gym. Like that's just gonna make my body weak, and it's not gonna heal. And so I'm like on this on the fence about it. So I'm like, I really hope that I am starting to feel a lot better by the 7th, so that way I'm not forcing myself to do 2 workouts and my body's just getting weaker, and then all of a sudden I somehow get sicker or something. You know, that's a bridge I'm gonna have to cross when I get there. But no, we chose the 7th because 75 days from the 7th is our 2-year wedding anniversary, so it's just going to work out nicely. But yeah, we're going to do 75 hard. I'm really excited to see what my transformation is going to be like, to go from day 1 to day 75. I'm not eager about drinking a gallon of water every day, but I'll figure it out.
It's the worst. It's harder in the winter too to drink that much water.
I do have a question for you, bro. What did you consider to be drinking water and what not to be drinking water? As in,
you get a gallon water bottle, and that has to go down. And you don't count any other liquids towards it. It's that gallon of water, period, has to be drank. And anything else you drink is a bonus.
That's what I figured. But I didn't know if there was any extras there. The reason why I ask is like,
no, I mean, what you could do is if you want to take your protein shake with water, you could get your mixer, take your gallon of water bottle, and dump your water into your mixer. I tried to avoid doing stuff like that. I wanted to like a gallon of pure water, and then I would usually do almond milk for like my protein shakes and things. I don't know if you've done it yet, but print off the little like, I can even send you ours, but it's like each day you mark off your task, and we did different colors. And so like, as you're going through, you'll have like 30 something days of filled in stuff. And it's just, to me, it's a visual motivator of like, I've done so much. And it's like, you can see time elapsing better than just like feeling lost in the middle of 75 days.
No, I do want to, I'm looking at them right now. I do want a day-to-day tracker.
Well, and you know how to do Photoshop, so just make your own. Like, grab a couple, take what you like from one or the other.
Yeah, no, I know what I can do. I know I can do a lot of them, as in, I know how to do Excel now and everything, but
I recommend that. I don't know. For me personally, that helped a ton, kept me motivated.
How simple were your workouts? As in, I think that's going to be one of the more difficult ones, but were you doing like a weight training and then a running, or were you more like just doing a hike, or like what were you doing for like your workouts?
Well, see, my neighborhood's a loop, but the loop is like, it has like crazy elevation gain and descend and stuff. So the first workout was always in the gym. Like I'd go lift weights. I would bike. I would do 45 minutes in the gym, and then I would do the second workout would just be going around the block, which takes about 50 something minutes. I wouldn't jog a couple of times. I jogged the block, but we would either when we walk it, I always put a weighted vest on, and then depending on if all the kids, I say all the kids, sometimes Roman would just hang out the house. We like walkie talkies and things, and then it's really easy to get to the house. So I would pull either Roman and Bristol in the wagon or push them in the wagon. So like it'd be like a walk around the block, but like we were pushing a 20-pound kid in a wagon, so it's probably like 30-ish pounds, like up and down hills and things like that. So, but some people like count just like I give you and Kirsty went on like a 2-mile walk at the end of every day. Like that could be your second workout. The biggest thing is like getting out and moving and things like that. Now, I don't know if your home gym has it, but like what's going to happen is you're going to forget to do things. And that's when it becomes a nightmare. You have to go, I didn't drink as much water as I needed to, or, oh no, it's the end of the day and I still got to do 2 workouts, or I didn't get my pages read, stuff like that. So the sooner you can get stuff done, the better. So like wake up early, read right away, drink as much water as you possibly can. Do whatever you got to do as fast as you can in the day, and that's going to set up and make it a lot easier. But if I got to the end of the day and I'm like, oh, I didn't get my second like workout in, or my outside or my inside workout or whatever, I would just jump on my little bike, and I would just bike for 45 minutes.
So what our plan is to sorry, my throat is very graspy right now, guys. I'm sorry that this is the episode that
you sound like sandpaper.
I feel like sandpaper. No, I'm sorry that this is the episode we
Poor
have.
Kirsty.
Yeah, dang. I'm sorry that this is the episode we have to provide for you guys today, but I hope that you guys can still get a lot out of it. But no, our plan is
it's a good example of showing you when you don't feel good. Like my favorite Joe Rogan quote is, "The pro goes to work." Even like period. Like doesn't matter if they're sick, not sick, whatever. Like, do you want to be successful? If we want this podcast to work, like we're not gonna take a week off because we're not feeling amazing. This podcast might not do as well, but there are listeners that are going to enjoy this still. So comment if you do, even with Ben's voice being like listening to a chalkboard.
Holding up my arm right now and says nobody cares, work harder. Like that's the motto around here, guys. So, but I am so sorry. Okay, my plan for or like Kirsty and our plan is to pretty much, I'm going to go to my gym and she'll come with me every now and then, and I'm going to kind of stick with the same routine. She's going to go to her gym as well, and once again, like come with me, and then when we get home, or like that's going to happen at the start of the morning, and then when we get home, what we'll do is we'll take our dogs out, and we have Palmer Park not too far from us, which is, if you guys don't know, that's a place where it's just a park with a bunch of like hikes that you can do, and trails and things like that. So just take the dogs there and go try to like get those elevation changes and just go on like long walks with them. So that's kind of our plan at the moment. And then also maybe do some like some other things where we've got at our not home gym, but like our gym at our rec center, we've got treadmills and stationary bikes and things like that, so we can do some other cardio type workouts there instead. So we're gonna try to mix it up, try to do other things, maybe do the incline on a morning or something like that, on like a weekend. So we'll figure it out, but we're excited.
I'm excited for you guys. It's important you do it together, because it's really hard for one person to do something as extreme as 75 hard or like a whole 30, whatever. by themselves. Like you have to do it with your significant other. One person can't go on that epic of a journey when you're married. I feel like it's got to kind of be like a team effort thing.
That was actually something that my father-in-law pointed out when Kirsty was telling him that we were doing this. He was like, it's nice that you guys have each other to do this stuff together. And it is. No, it's most definitely, for something like this, it's probably, or it's most definitely motivating to have your partner doing it, because it's, I have no interest in quitting this, but it's like, you have someone else to rely on, like you have to do
You don't want to
it.
let them down.
Yeah, you can't let them down. So I'm excited. I found a tracker that I like, so I'm going to print this off after the podcast. And yeah, it's becoming real to do this 75 hard.
It's going to be real hard. No, it's one of those things where we moved our gym into the garage, and I haven't really worked out since moving it. It's hard with the winter. I try, like, I'd love to still, like, be as, like, read, journal, work out, like, water, all that stuff that I love to do in the summertime as I prepare for the winter. But, like, once winter hits, man, like, my world explodes. And there's definitely still time to, like, get in the gym and at least stretch and, like, do a couple pull-ups or push-ups and things. And, like, there's no excuse for me not to be journaling, and I still definitely could read 10 pages a day and stuff. But sometimes you mentally just get so overloaded. It's like I'm doing all these edits, and I got 3 shorts a day coming out, and like, where am I writing today, and what is the plan? And it's just like, it's a lot, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot more things pulling your attention, like how's these videos performing, and like there's a trillion comments and messages and things and emails and stuff. So I'm definitely trying to lock in going forward and be more disciplined in the morning time, especially after I haven't been able to really wake up early since the kids were waking me up 6 to 7 times throughout the night. Like, there's no joke. Like, each kid at least woke me up 3 times, and the dogs have been waking me up, and so, like, as well, because they're evil because of the winter. And it's what I'm really frustrated with so far this season is not having a filmer. Like, not having an editor is okay. Like, I can get edits done and things like that. And I've been doing the top to bottoms. What I'm not doing well is planning a fun long form video and going and executing it. One, because I don't have someone to film it with. And then 2, the shorts are doing great, but I find myself, planning more shorts or like types of short form content than I am like, oh, I'm going to order this Amazon board and do this for a long form video and things like that. So I don't know, like, I'm not exactly stoked on the season, but it's such a different change that I don't know if I don't like it because it's such a different routine than it was previously. But also, like, I just want to go, like, rip the park and, like, do a bunch of tricks and stuff, and I just don't have no one to film. And so then, like, I go and ride park, yes, but I, like, have a camera in my mouth, or I'm holding a selfie stick, so I'm not riding at my true potential. And the last time I did have a filmer to go, like, ride park, I had to film a Jake Paul competition, which I got second place. I almost won 10 grand. They're sending me, I guess, second place prize, which I don't know what it is. But I'm frustrated.
Yeah, it sucks. Like, I'm sorry. You had a great thing going, and life just hit you. And I know that you're gonna get back there, though. You're gonna get those. You're gonna get that filmer back. You're gonna get the editor back. You're gonna be at a good spot. It's just that this is one of those years, and like we've been saying, maybe this is the episode where we talk about being locked in. You gotta lock in, take care of business. You went through season 2. You went through season 3. You've done this before. You're gonna be able to do it again, bro.
I gotta, like, as weird as it sounds, like, rebuild my crew. And it makes sense because not like people go through cycles, and primarily they go through like, oh, like they're really into snowboarding for 2 or 3 years, and then it drops to like a hobby. Not everybody is like every day for the rest of their life snowboarding like I have been. And so I had a really good crew the last 3 years of people that were coming all the time that could help with the videos, or I worked for me, like type situation. And now I got like my buddy Chris, who's showing up every single day, and he's rad. And I got Tristan, who's like kind of showing up a little bit, but like I need to go find new friends like that. I know like every day I got like this crew of people that like, one, are like down to help with the videos, but two, like just down to vibe and have a good time. So also it's like I'm not at the mountain just like, oh, I'm here by myself. I mean, it makes it easy to go do the top to bottom runs when it's just me, but I don't know. I feel like the crew needs to get rebuilt.
Yeah, I mean, I was one of those people. I enjoyed our snowboarding time together, but at the same time, snowboarding was not my daily passion, the way that it is for you. And, you know, I thought that it would be, but, you know, people would always tell us that we're lucky that we get to go snowboarding every day, or they're like, they're jealous that we could go snowboarding every day and everything. And that's fine. But it's like, until you're doing it, you don't realize what it's like. You know, until you're living in that environment, until you're snowboarding literally every single day, you don't know what that experience is like. And it's not for everybody.
I say with it being winter, a lot of the days are doom and gloom and bleh. And the thing is, like, if you're only snowboarding 10 times a season, if that, like, you know, you might only go twice a year, and you show up and it might be an overcast, gloomy, firm day, but because it's your only day, you're having the best time ever. But when I go ride and it's a 10-inch bluebird pow day one day, and then the next day is an overcast day, it's hard to be as stoked as you just were for that really rad day. And then put into, you know, back when we were daily vlogging, you know, now we have to like make a video the day after the raddest day ever. I call them good day hangovers. You know, you had such a good day. The previous day, it's hard for the next to follow it up with a even better day. Sometimes it happens, but for the most part, it doesn't normally happen. And then people are in the comments being like, stop complaining about conditions, at least you're snowboarding. And it's like, it's just different for me, man.
No, it was tough for us to have, like, there were those phenomenal days where we would go into the park and just have a great day together, and it was always just so much fun. And then you know, the next day we would go and it would be like an overcast, freezing cold day, which added so many variables because our camera wouldn't be working, and overall we're just miserably cold.
Yeah, that's back when we used the not good cameras.
Yeah, back when we were just using like the GoPro Hero 4 or something, you know, with a gimbal. So we had our we had our gimbal that had its own battery. We had the GoPro that had its own battery. And when it's negative 10 degrees outside, both of those batteries are struggling. And there would be points where Johnathan would literally take the battery out of the GoPro and would hold it in his hands on the chairlift to try to warm it up.
I forget about those struggles.
Because that's how cold it would be, you know? And that's so to go from like a bluebird, probably like 25, 30 degree day where we were dressed appropriately and things were just vibing. We're just having so much fun, to like a negative 10 overcast day where the cameras are fighting us, the gimbal's fighting us, and we're just like, you know, we also worked in the morning. I don't know if everyone realized that, but the reason why we were snowboarding every day is because we were waking up at 3 a.m. to go to work at Target from 3:30 to 12:30, and then we would go home, get dressed, and go straight to the mountain. That's what we were doing every single day. Every single day, that's what we were doing. So you know, like maybe we had a bad day at work. You know, I remember one day our brother had to tell us that he was putting our childhood dog down, and like that day sucked, and it is what it is. but we still had to go to work and we still had to go to the mountain and we still had to go snowboard. And like, that's what we did, you know? And I don't know if a lot of people realize that like, it's tough. It's hard. And the fact that we did it is really freaking cool, bro. It's really freaking cool.
You know, like that rant you just went on made me realize
How badass we are.
that. But no, it made me realize how blessed I am to be in a situation where technology has advanced as much as it has, to where I can go out and film myself snowboard at an insane quality that's still enjoyable and digestible.
Yeah, because even when we were filming back then with like the gimbal and all that stuff, it was not great. Like if we're being honest, the quality was not great. So yeah, you're most like, even though you're by yourself now, you're still filming at a higher quality than what we were filming together with. So you're not wrong.
Yeah. And so it's like, as much as I want to complain and whatnot, it's like I'm still pretty good. You know, it's funny because yeah, I did my finances yesterday, and me and Bobby really want to get a house. A lot of people think I own the house I'm currently in. I don't. I love my current situation, but it's easy for me to love it because I have a studio, which is the size of our bedroom with a closet, which our bedroom doesn't have a closet. And I have a space for my camper and my snowmobile, and I have a backyard park and everything that I need. I have plenty of space, driveway, all of it. But the kids' room, 2 of our rooms inside of our place don't have closets, which is a pain in the butt at the end of the day. And the place doesn't have any closets either, so we've converted our second bathroom into closets. Essentially, the shower and the bathtub, which are 2 separate things, are just closets. And so, like, for the family living, it's tight, and I don't notice it as much because I'm doing my thing. I'm doing the YouTube thing. I'm working, you know. So my wife is not very satisfied. So she's like, let's find a place to buy. So that's another thing where it's like, okay, we don't have Cody, but like we're reallocating all of our finances into making sure all the debts that we have acquired recently, like car loans and student loans, all that type of stuff gets paid off, and we're at a clean slate, as well as saving money for a down payment. And so we can like really try to acquire a house before 2025. And so we were going over finances yesterday, which is really fun. Like, she was locked in and she actually cared because Bobby, my wife, is the type of person to, you handle it. I don't want to see it. You handle it. She just wants to know if she can go buy things at the store and not look at it, essentially, which she's been able to live that life for a while. But it's cool to like, okay, this is what our savings looks like. This is how much I pulled in. And like, I think she was actually, this sounds dumb, but I don't think she realized how much my work brings in, if that makes sense. Or like, she got to see the big number, like that whole year number. And she was like, wait, you made that much money? I'm like, yeah, I don't know where it went. We spent it all.
That's a nice problem to have there, bro. No, I'm joking.
But like for me, I get frustrated because like it was, I'm going to be very honest with you. I was $110,000 less dollars than the best I've ever done in my life. It's a lot of less money. I looked at that number and I got so mad. And Bobby's like, you did 5 times better than the average American. And I was like, yes, that's one way to look at it. Or the other way to look at it is I did $110,000 less than I know I can do. If not, like the ceiling. And I say this because I'm not trying to be like, oh, I want money, I want greed, I want this. Because when I made a lot of money, I took that and I gave it to other people. And I gave it and tried to share my experience of like, let's travel and let's do all this stuff. Like, I loved that I got to do that with Cody. And yes, he worked for it, but at the same time, like, I love being able to like, hey, don't worry guys, like I got the hotel room. Don't worry guys, I'm paying for all the gas. Like, hey, I got you a flight. Like, let's go on this trip together. Like, I loved being in that position. And it's one of those things where I'm okay with stepping away from that for a second to acquire my family at home. And hopefully we can actually get approved for the loan that we would need for a home and things like that. But where I'm getting at, I don't fully know where I was going with this other than definitely locking in and trying to get a house within the year. Because Bobby is expressed in not very nice ways how much she doesn't want to live here for another year.
I'm right there with you, bro, on trying to find a house to live into, and whether that's even Christian to rent something. Getting a house is on our 2025 list, especially with just, we're not actually outgrowing this place, but it's like we're a little bit outgrowing this place, and we don't even have kids. But I am blessed to have my office, and Kirsty shares the office as well. She works from home sometimes, so she's got a portion of that office. We're particularly looking for a garage because of how amazing a garage can be, especially with people are just breaking into cars left and right here in Colorado Springs. And we've come to the conclusion that the only safe place to put a car right now is in a garage. It doesn't matter what you have going on with your car. People are going to break into it. People are going to smash the windows. They don't care. So we are very interested in getting something to secure our vehicles, but also just a bigger place for us to store stuff, have a backyard for our dogs, and just have a better living experience. We're really looking forward to that. And I'm sure that you guys are on the same boat. So
it's a bummer because probably gonna lose my backyard park because our current setup is so good for the backyard park. And honestly, our current renting situation is really good. And I say this, but it could be where we don't, because where I live in Summit County, Colorado, the average home price is $1.3 million. That's entry level, average home, for a 3 to 4 bedroom house is $1.3 million. I can't afford that. And so on the outskirts, you can get things around $700,000, and that's still insanely expensive. And then also, this might not be the year to buy a house. The interest rates are still very high, and they are saying that they're probably still hang on 6% through all of 2025. But if we attack 2025 with the purpose of purchasing a house and the goal of we're paying off debts, we're saving money, we're locked in, who knows that maybe we're at the end of 2025, we are fully and completely ready to purchase a house. So when 2026 happens, interest rates drop, house prices go down a little bit, and the perfect property might present itself. So it's better to be, what do they say? It's better to be prepared than not. It's better to prepare for an opportunity you don't have than have an opportunity not be prepared. That's what they say.
Exactly. Exactly. I love that you're throwing this locked in phrase around, bro. I love it. This is going to be the year that we lock in.
We're locked in.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I'm going to write it on my they call it a big ASS calendar.
Big ass calendar. Yes. I've seen it, and I really want it. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, maybe Jonathan's going to share that picture. I'll have it up on the screen again. But it's literally a calendar that goes on your entire wall. And instead of it being January, February, March, no, it's literally just day 1 all the way through day 365. It shows the entire year on one calendar, and with it, you just fill it in. But while you're looking at it, it shows you a real idea of what your year looks like as just one calendar. And it's a really cool concept, and I think it's a really motivating idea. Our brother-in-law, Tim, has a similar thing, or I shouldn't say similar, but he has this weeks of your life board, and it shows the average life expectancy in weeks, and basically you just mark them off. So you can literally it shows you a representation. You fill in what your age is. So it shows you a real life representation of how many weeks have you lived, how many weeks are you going to continue living, and it just puts this in perspective of I have to make every week count, gotta make every month count, every day count, and yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, so the one I bought, it's like a line down of 1 through 12, so every month, and then every day is a cross.
Oh,
And
okay,
so
so it's
then at the
slightly
end,
different. Slightly.
yeah, it's just a different mold or whatever. And then at the end, it has like a note for the month that you can write in. It also has a note section at the beginning, and obviously you can write in every single day. It also has 25 slots for 25 goals that you can put above, um, which is pretty cool. And I also want to, like, every time I go ride, I want to put a green mark or whatever, and I can visually see like how many days I rode, and like I want to write like what time I woke up and did I read, did I journal, like I don't know, I just want to put as much information on that as possible, as well as, like when I travel, it's going to be like went to Italy, like went to Austria. Um, and then I was like, it'd be really cool. Like when this is all said and done, I could fold it up. If I ever wanted to pull out my 2025 year, I could look at it.
You really could. You could also do like a legend where you could, instead of, I mean, this is entirely up to you, but it's like you could have like a marker of every color. And it's like, if you read, you mark it with this color. And if you did this, you mark it with that color, right? So it's not so cluttered, but at the same time, I think that it being cluttered is also pretty cool. So there's multiple ways that you could do it.
It's one of those things where some people will see that and think it's cheesy. Some people will get and be like, that's just a normal calendar, dude. It's just, you can see more of it. At the end of the day, it's whatever gets you motivated and gets you. Motivation is fleeting, and motivation will not get you to where you want to be. You need discipline. But when I have a big ass calendar in front of my face and I'm supposed to be filling it in every day, I'm supposed to be going after stuff, it's a big reminder of like, yo, are you doing what you say you're doing? Are you going after the stuff that you say you want to go after? And I don't know. I've done different forms and versions and all that type of stuff, and all I know is my life has only gotten better the moment I adopted self-improvement and self-education and chasing dreams. So people can make fun of me all I want. I'm getting it.
I know we touched on this a couple months ago, so I want to revisit it, but like there's people associate self-improvement or any of that type of stuff of a big ass calendar or reading every day or reading self-help or just listening to motivational speeches. They associate it with cheesy, and they think that it has such this bad rap behind it of like, oh, you're trying to better yourself? What a loser. Like, it's so backwards and it's so wrong. And it's like the cheesy stuff works. When we talked about this last, like, I was listening to daily affirmations and I felt so good about that. And I love doing that. And it worked for me, right? Johnathan was the type of person where he's like, I don't need daily affirmations, and that's fine. But do what works for you. And I was actually just thinking about this the other day. I kind of want to go back to listening to the daily affirmations. What I'd listen to every day still, though, is on my drive to work is I pray and I listen to a self-help book. That's what I do. And is it cheesy? Sure. But it works for me. That's what's working. Like, I enjoy doing that. And so for people to be afraid to do something because they're afraid of what other people are going to think of them, screw the haters, dude. Screw what they're going to think of you. Do what works for you. There's nothing wrong with bettering your life. There's nothing wrong with going through the self-help. There's nothing wrong with just doing something that's considered cheesy, because at the end of the day, it's your life. You can live it the way you want to. So, Johnathan, I love that you have this big ass calendar. I want to get a big ass calendar. Like I don't understand how people just have this natural urge to put people down when all they're trying to do is better themselves.
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't have that feeling. When I see someone doing something that's like an improvement, I don't like to try and put them down. Like, good examples, like our older brother Tyler started making social media content around his flipping business. He does very well flipping things on eBay and Amazon that he finds at Goodwill and thrift stores and stuff like that. He started making content around it. And instead of making fun of him for like trying to expand and do more and improve, like I'm the first person in that comment feed trying to boost and help his videos and letting him play. And I don't know, I'd rather help than discourage.
No, I'm right there with you, bro. I don't understand the why people would want to put anyone down. But you know, that's exactly what happened for us at Target. Our bosses, I won't name drop them, but our bosses were.
I remember I literally have the image in my head when we were in the office and we were like, oh, we're gonna go make a video or go snowboard, and they like were making fun of us while we were in the head's office.
Yeah, like our direct bosses, like the store manager and our direct executive manager,
supervisor.
Yeah, they loved making fun of us because we were doing the YouTube stuff. They loved it, and Johnathan fed into it so hard, and he kept being like, "You guys gonna go check out the YouTube video?" And they're like, "No, we don't like that lame stuff." Like they were so. I don't like. I'm just gonna say like it's not. We didn't care, but it's like they were so mean about it. They wanted to make fun of us so hard, and we had that kind of relationship where we would just talk crap to each other back and forth. But yeah, they were so negative towards our YouTube stuff, and so for it to be as big as it is now, bro, is like it's so. I'm so happy that you're still doing this, and I'm so happy that it's working. But it's like, dude, people are just negative ass people. They're just always gonna do that, and the you just have to ignore them. Ignore the haters. Shoot. Ignore my graspy voice right now.
Or not even just so much ignore them, but like use it. I like to use things as fuel. Like when someone tells me I can't do something, I like to triple down on now I got to do it because they don't think I can do it. I'm extra doing it now.
Well, bro, you can't make up that $120,000 that you missed. Gotcha. Now you got to. No, I'm joking. I would never say that.
Oh, I'm making it up now. No, one of my strategies is every single day is to do one extra thing to make a little more money. So that's either like share the stickers in a different location, share an Amazon affiliate link, do one extra thing in order to make more money.
I mean, I love it. I'm here for it. That simple thing of just one extra thing can multiply, kind of like what we're talking about with the big ass calendar of looking at it. If you're like, you're just doing one extra thing. Yeah, do that one extra thing for 365 days. Now you're doing a lot of extra stuff.
Well, let's hypothetically say I do one extra thing for 365 days, and that one extra thing makes me $1 every day. I just made 365 extra dollars. And now let's hypothetically say I take that $365 and I put it into Bitcoin or Hawk2a coin.
Well, don't put it in Hawk2a.
The sky's the limit.
Don't put it in a Hawk2a coin.
But does that like so many people sweat or don't sweat the little things? Like in a way, like don't sweat the little things, but in a lot of ways, like it matters. Like a big part of my income and one reason I've been so successful is how much I've hyper-focused stickers and plugging and selling stickers. To some people, it's like, there's your stickers, whatever. But I've created a culture around my logo and getting a sticker and putting on your helmet that like it is a real thing. Like it does insanely well. And it's because I focused in on something so simple.
No, I've noticed that your stickers are doing well, and that's awesome, bro. And it really is.
They're not though. Like it's frustrating because they are doing well in a way. Like it's still a ton of orders and things like that, but they're not. Like it's down. It's not as good as it used to be. Sorry, not to cut you off, but thank God Bobby figured out why we couldn't ship to the other countries. Like Etsy, like literally at some point in the summer, turned off my ability to for people in other countries to order stickers, which was truly probably like a $3,000 or $4,000 hit for the last 6 months.
That's tough. It's tough.
But we fixed it. It's now fixed before our biggest month, which is January. So
that's great. There we go. But no, just the idea of like, yeah, you can't stay stagnant. You can't keep your stickers, like you can't be doing the same thing with your stickers if they're not doing the same. You know, if they're, you know, it's like don't fix what's not broken. But if it's broken, you better fix it. You know, and if the stickers weren't selling, but you were doing the same stuff, you got to mix it up. You got to try something new, and all that stuff. So I'm happy that you're going at it with that approach, bro.
Yeah, I have to go at a lot of things with different approaches. It's easy because like I've gone through it. It's easy to be like, all right, my AdSense is going down. Like, I'm just gonna sit here and deal with it. It's easy to like get into like find success and be like, cool, this is what we're doing. And then when that success stops being successful, it's easy to not pivot and just to like finish that wave and then be like, all right, that's what it was. Where like a good example of what I'm doing different this year, which is allowing me to still do what I do for a living and still do really well, is the top to bottom runs that I've been filming are exploding on TikTok. Like 300,000 plus views, and they're like 5 to 7 minutes long. Every run is making like $200. So I'll go show off School Marm. And yes, I'm posting it on YouTube as a long form video, and it might make $20 or $30. But on TikTok, it's making me $300. One, it's like very, like, man, I should go do like 20 of these and post them all on TikTok in one day. But two, it's, as much as like it's not my ideal YouTube main form and YouTube's been my main one, what's working right now is TikTok. And so hopefully in 4 days it's not banned and I can keep making that money. But you have to be reinventing. You have to be trying new things. You have to just keep the pedal down, staying locked in. And when one thing that was working incredible isn't working anymore, you got to shift and you got to adjust and you got to do something different.
That's great, bro. I pulled up your TikTok. I'm looking at it. Yeah, they're getting great views. But I think that is a great way to tie up podcast, bro. You got to keep changing. You got to keep evolving. Wait, what? You got to keep evolving? Is that what I just said? What?
You sure you don't want to keep coughing on this podcast?
I don't. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for fighting through this podcast as we have been fighting through this podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys for commenting. Thank you guys for being a part of the conversation. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for liking. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being yourself. Thank you guys for listening to us ramble and do our thing. We really do appreciate it. Do you have anything else to say, bro?
Yeah, I the last thing I want to end is sometimes it might sound like I'm complaining or not grateful or whatever, or I can get frustrated because like, yeah, I would say my YouTube channel is not the channel, but like financially has been kind of going down. But I love being real. And like, that's one thing I've always done online has been my real self. And if you were a person who went on a road trip with me, this is exactly how I would talk to you. And so I hope you guys enjoy the realness of this podcast as well, because I don't give a crap about flexing on you guys. I'm just trying to feed my family. And so I don't know. It's fun to get on here and actually like talk with my brother and share things, and hopefully it motivates you guys. And thanks for listening, watching, subscribing. Peace.
Thank you guys for listening to the Realist Podcast. Peace.